What I would say is when you see so many strikes happening, the lecturers are striking, the teachers have been called for a strike in May when the schools open. We've had doctors strike, we've had nurses strike, we've had students strike, we've had strikes everywhere. Now, when a country resorts to going out on the streets to demand for their rights, that shows a deep problem somewhere. And often the problem lies with the government because you see there's a common denominator there. They are striking against things that they feel is not right for them. Because a strike involves sacrifice. Like this lecturer, for 46 days, they have been out of work, meaning they have been out of money. When you are striking, you don't get any money coming in. But they have decided they are going to have this short-term issue to have a long-term solution to their problems. So what I would say is that the government needs to sit down with these lecturers and get to hear what they're saying. They've already agreed. They are striking about the 2018-2022 CBA, which they feel will not be honored. The last year's strike was about the CBA that was supposed to be honored 4 years later. So this is for the next 4 years. And I feel that it is right for them to go out in the streets to strike for the sole reason, if you have exhausted all your options, and you're not being heard, what is left for you? Now, the problem here is that it's our children that end up paying the price. It is them that their education is affected, and with it, their future. Now, the bigger thing is that when you affect the future of the students, you are actually affecting the future of the country, because these are the teachers, these are the doctors, these are the architects, these are the nurses, everyone else at the university, every course at the university means that it is providing someone that's going to build the country. So now we have stalled that. Basically, we're not building the country where we are. So for 46 days, we've actually killed the morale of the students. We've brought them so much anxiety. You know, when you don't know when you're finishing, you're actually just there. Every day is just going on, and you're caught in this problem that's not yours. So I would say it's a bad, bad place where we are. But it seems like we're very complacent about it. Certainly the government is very complacent about it. We've reached 46 days. The teachers are still out there. We're not being angry enough, and I think it's shameful. It is extremely shameful.
Kevin, your thoughts on the lecturer strike and the fact that the government seems to be dragging its feet? Or let me just say that there doesn't seem to be a solution that's being found fast enough. Meanwhile, the students are still suffering.
Yeah, the president's legacy is at stake, and he really needs to move forward as the father of his children, both the teaching staff and indeed the students, because this is quite unfair. And we cannot have a country, in my view, where every week you can probably predict that these people are going to go on strike. Doctors will do it, nurses will then follow, lecturers will then follow, and on and on and on and on. Because therefore we cannot be able to build a country like that. We can't have a nation that is really built on strikes and strikes. And you note that, again, we have supportive legislation. For instance, we have the Labor Relations Act, which really is supposed to prescribe what needs to happen in this kind of situations. We have a whole ministry, the Ministry of Labor and Industrial Relations, that is charged with the responsibility of ensuring that that workers that wake up every day and go out there to build the nation, you know, have certain basic minimums, that they are able to have good health insurance, they are able to have good salaries, they are able to feel comfortable, so that they are able to give their all and all towards the national building and development. But we don't see that happening in this country. And so Kenya also needs to learn from what other countries are doing and how they are able to deal with these kind of issues. I know I've heard that there is an amendment that is coming into Parliament this week on the requirement that when employees of or rather members of a union go on strike, then they need to prescribe how many people will be on the streets.
Skeleton staff that will be left.
And you see, the same would probably apply to the students. Then we also need to be told, while lecturers are on the streets, can we have a timetable where if you're supposed to study medicine between 2 and 4, the lecturer will be able to come to attend to the students?
But then again, one might argue and say that beats the purpose of the
Exactly,
strike,
it does.
because really the strike is supposed to paralyze.
And already the LSK, I think through some lawyers, have already gone out and said that cannot work, because then it really beats the whole purpose of a strike.
You can imagine if the government is sitting on its laurels right now, what would happen if now there's a skeleton staff? Basically, business continues.
Exactly. So I think the president, the head of state, really needs to come out to, bring up everyone to Sheila.
What I would say about that proposal, about having a skeleton thing, it's someone trying to play a very big con game on people. What's going to happen? They're just going to bank on that skeletal staff to work. And the strike can go on forever as the skeleton crew, staff work, and that is not right. So I think a strike should, for it to be effective, it needs to paralyze the whole system so that people can wake up and speak and have this dialogue and just give people their dues.
Absolutely.